Alright, so in today's episode of Japan Food Review, we're actually having something different. We're having some KFC, some Japanese Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's right. Normally we've been having McDonald's, and I wanted to spice things up today. I actually bought a lavalier mic so I could start making videos as I walk around, but today I tried walking out and it wasn't working for some reason, so I have to figure out the audio problems. But I still decided to film a montage of me getting this for you guys, so how about we check that out first and then we'll start eating. Cue a montage. Alright, now that you're back from me grabbing some KFC, let's see what we actually have in here. So this is apparently part of a campaign where KFC is having a 30% off of a box. And so normally this box, as you can see on the screen, it's normally 1,500 yen, so around $15. They actually dropped it down to $10.50, saving you $4.50. And so I'm very interested in tasting what's in this box. As you already saw, we have 3 chicken pieces, we have a crispy strip, we have some small fries, as well as a biscuit. And so I'm very curious to try and see just how good this chicken is compared to Canada. Yes, I haven't had Canadian Kentucky Fried Chicken in 2 years, but I've had so much KFC in my life that the taste is basically seared into my taste buds. So I should still remember what it tastes like and should be able to compare next to the Japanese KFC box. All right, so how do we open this box? All right, so let's open this box. So it looks like there's these flaps on the sides that we just gotta unhook, and on this side as well, and then we could just open that bad boy up like so. Wow. And so you could see, wow, okay, so we have the napkins already there. We have our small fry. Wow, that's very tiny. There's like 10 fries in there. Then we have what I believe is our biscuit, and in here it looks like we have our 1 strip. This is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Let me put that to the side. We have some honey maple KFC sauce. That's very interesting. I'm very curious to try that. And then all the way at the bottom we have our 3 pieces of chicken. It definitely smells like KFC, and so I'm very interested in seeing just how good this chicken is. And so let me pull the chicken out and let's look at the color. So you can see it has a little bit of a golden color, a little bit darker on the color, which means that they might have used oil. They haven't refreshed the oil. And so the reason your KFC usually tastes bad is because they don't refresh the oil. And you can definitely tell based on the color of the chicken. If it's a nice golden color, you got some fresh oil and it's gonna taste delicious. But the darker the color, that means it's taken a lot of time for them to change the oil, and so that usually comes out in the taste. And so this thing's a little bit soggy. It's been sitting there for a little bit. You can definitely tell it's a little bit crispy on the shell, not as crispy as I would have liked, but again, it could be mostly because of the sogginess. But anyways, let's dig right in. Let's see just how good the chicken is compared to Canada's. Bon appetit, mon ami. I'll have one more bite and then we'll talk about it. So although the chicken's a little bit soggy and a little bit old because it is like a 15-minute walk to my apartment, you can still see that the chicken is very nice, very juicy. It's a very juicy indeed. It's nice, it's delicious. It's definitely a little bit different than the Canadian KFC because you get a mouthful of flavor. I don't know why. I put it in and it's almost like the juices just explode in my mouth and I taste a flavor that I haven't really tasted back in Canada. And so it's very juicy, it's very flavorful. Even though, as you saw earlier, the color of the chicken was a little bit dark, which means that the oil hasn't really been refreshed, but I'm not really tasting it in the chicken. I'm sure it could taste a lot better if it was fresher oil, but I'm still enjoying it. Very juicy, very flavorful indeed. Let me try finishing the rest of this chicken and let me see if that's throughout the rest of it. Bon appetit. All right, so now that I'm practically done this, I'm still gonna keep going, don't worry about it. Pretty good. I really enjoy it. Again, the chicken, very nice, flavorful, juicy. There are some parts of the chicken that are dry, but of course it is KFC. It is fast food. You can't expect perfection everywhere. And so definitely very good. I'm sure if I ate it the moment I was handed to me, I'm sure I would have gotten a nice crispy crunch. I'm sure it wouldn't have gotten a little bit soggy, especially it was raining outside, so it probably absorbed a little bit of that humidity. But all around, still very good. All right, so now that we're done with the chicken, we're gonna move on to the chicken strip. As you can see, this one is a beautiful golden brown. What that means is that whatever oil they're using for this is fresher than the oil they're using for the chicken, as obviously dictated by the color, and is gonna follow through in the taste. So let's see just how good this is, and then we're gonna try it with this honey maple KFC sauce. I don't know if you have this back in Canada, back in the West, or back anywhere. I'm assuming you do, but we're gonna try the strip, and then we're gonna try with the sauce, see how they work and how they combine with each other. But anyways, let's dig in. All right, so the chicken strip, very good, very nice. The breading, definitely different than you would get in Canada or the West. You definitely have some Asian flavors in the breading. I can't pinpoint where I've tried it before, but I can definitely tell that this breading is a little bit more Asian inspired than the breading you would get back in the West in Canada. So this thing's actually pretty good. I really enjoy it, but we're gonna try it with the sauce. So we're gonna open this bad boy up, and then we're gonna try it with the chicken strip. All right, so now that we got the sauce packet open, I'm gonna try this a little bit, and then we're gonna pour some on the strip and see how well it is on its own, and then with the strip. Buon appetit. Ooh, that is very good. Also very sweet, very surprising, because a lot of the times here in Japan, things aren't as sweet as this. But then again, it is honey, it is maple, so of course you're gonna get a lot of sweetness. So let's combine this one with this and see just how good they work in conjunction with each other. Ah, and we got that all over our pants. Nice. Ah! Okay, let's eat before we start gonna mess everywhere. All right, so the honey maple with the chicken strip, pretty good. I actually really enjoy it. The honey maple sauce masks a lot of the flavor, though, unfortunately, of the chicken strip. As I said, the breading is a little bit more Asian inspired from what I can tell. Not 100% sure what's in the breading, but this sauce definitely masks a lot more of that flavor. It does bring out a little bit more of that chicken flavor, so you do taste a lot of the honey maple syrup as well as the chicken, and not a lot of the breading. So if you're not a huge fan of the breading, but you're more of a fan of this, definitely eat it with this and you'll enjoy it a lot more. All right, so we did conduct the cardinal sin. So usually whenever you get fries, you're supposed to eat them first, because as you can see, they do get a little bit soggy and a little bit stale. But let's see how good the flavors are. All right, so when it comes to the KFC fries, especially this small, as you can tell, we only got like maybe 20 fries, if that at all. And I feel like they could definitely add a little bit more fries, especially if you go to McDonald's, you get so many fries with a small. And so I definitely agree that they should definitely add a little bit more fries to these. Add some more, make more value in the meal. But aside from that, the fries, they're pretty good. You get a little bit more of a potatoey taste. It's not more of the seasoning of the fries, it's about the potato itself. Compared to McDonald's, where the seasoning is more the hero of the fries. The seasoning on the fries a lot more what you can taste on your palate. Well, this one is more that potatoey, earthy taste, and this one not that bad, not that bad. Let me try a couple more. And so yeah, these ones definitely a little bit more earthier, a little bit more potatoey, more starchy, I'm assuming, and so I enjoy them. Definitely, I'm sure they would be a lot better if they were nice and crisp as soon as I got them, but you know, after a couple minutes, after 10-20 minutes, they're still pretty good. But to McDonald's fries, where after like 10 or 20 minutes, the fries get a little bit too stale, where you just don't want to eat it. And so these ones still, after that much time, not that bad, and I'm definitely down to finish eating them. And lastly, we got this. This is the biscuit. Now, I've never tried a KFC biscuit, and I'm not 100% sure if Canada has any biscuits now, but you can see that here is the oh shit. Was the honey maple for this, or was the honey maple for the strip? I'm assuming the honey maple was for this and not the strip. So now I'm gonna eat a dry biscuit, but there's a little bit more of that honey maple syrup sauce. So we'll try the biscuit on its own, and then we'll add this and see how well they taste. Anyways, let's bon appetit. Yeah, it's dry as fuck. So we're gonna add some of that maple syrup and see how well it tastes afterwards. All right, so we got some maple syrup on there. Definitely not enough to satisfy the dryness of this biscuit, but I guess we're gonna have to make do with what we got. Bon appetit. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, I was a little bit worried that the maple syrup wasn't gonna be enough to satisfy the dryness of the biscuit, and I was correct. You would need at least 2 packets, and you need to sort of soak it in the maple syrup for it to be at all edible. It's way too dry, not any flavor at all. You don't taste any flavor at all when it comes to the KFC biscuit. Well, if I remember correctly, the Popeyes biscuit had some kind of flavor, some spices or seasoning inside of the pastry, but this thing is very dry, and the only thing that gives it any flavor at all is the honey maple whatever syrup sauce. And so out of all the things that came inside this box, the biscuit was definitely the weakest. And so with that said, as a collective, this box, you know, it's not that bad. You do get a 30% drop in price, 450 yen, $4.50 down. So it's pretty good. You do get 3 pieces. You do get the strip. You do get the biscuit. I do kind of wish it came with the drink. The drink would have made things so much better, so much easier, especially because you got the dryness of the biscuit. You get the oils from the chicken. And so a drink, even if it's a sugary drink, I would have gotten some like melon Fanta. That drink would have definitely came in handy so that my mouth isn't very dry and filled with oil. And so definitely KFC, if you're watching this, add a drink to the box, add $1, maybe get rid of the biscuit and add a drink, then the box would definitely be a much bigger value. And we all know drinks are cheap AF, and so you could definitely throw a drink in there. But aside from that, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a like, subscribe, ring a ding-a-ling that bell, and let me know what other restaurants do you want me to try to find and get some food from. Do you like the KFC content? Do you want me to try more KFC content? If you do, let me know down below. But that's pretty much it. I'll catch you lovely ladies and gentlemen next time. Peace out.